friends, this is Thaddeus with Going Nerdy, and today I'm going to kind of rank the newest Scoundrels added to the game. Now, I'm going to throw out anyone who also has a bounty hunter tag, so that eliminates quite a few people. Instead, I am going to be focusing this video on those characters specifically who are coming from the solo film. And what I want to do is I want to rank them by what I think their value is and kind of talk about where I think their usefulness lies. I do think that each of these characters is beneficial, but I still think that there's something missing. Now, what that something missing is, I'll speculate a little bit at the end of this video, but I'll actually be doing another video later this week that talks about what I think really is missing from this, and what I think the next character, if we get a next character, will look like. Now, jumping in right off the bat, number 6 is L337, or L3. Now, whether you like it or not, L3 is a really interesting character, and I really want to score her higher than this. I love her basic. It gives her an uncanny level of max health. When she taunts, she's going to counterattack 100%, which again is just going to give her more max health. I've been playing around with her. I want her to be an alternative for Han in the Chex Mix lineup. I really want to rework the Chex Mix lineup and use her, but I really don't think that she's going to hit enough. I've been playing around with her, and the numbers just aren't there. Maybe it's the way that I have her modded. Right now I am modding her so that she can get the most health possible. She does have a pretty solid set of mods on her. The thing about her, though, is this 97 speed. It sucks. It's bad. But if you're going to be using her in a Chex Mix-like team, you want her to be low. You want her to not go very fast, and you want her to be being hit constantly so that when she is hit, she's attacking back, and it takes her a while to really, die or to really gain the turn meter. Now, moving on, I think next on my list, I have young Lando. Again, young Lando's a character that I really want to be better than he is. He's someone who I think there's value in. I think that there's a lot to be said about this character. He embodies a lot about these new Scoundrels that I love, and that is a basic that undercuts or the defensive passive abilities, right? On his turn, it does a crazy amount of damage. It allows or stops the target enemy from getting turn meter, from getting any buffs that would have warranted that. It is not something that can be retaliated against. It is a solid ability, and I love that. I don't necessarily know if it's the most useful thing. I feel like that there's a huge innuendo that Lando is prepared for everything. Now, I just gotta say that maybe that's what they intended, the devs. Maybe that's a quirky sense of humor, but really, Lando is often prepared. His abilities make him so that he is prepared almost all the time, and that's cool. That's a really cool thing, because coupled with other Scoundrels, coupled with a Scoundrel team that uses the prepared mechanic, that really is a very beneficial thing, and it really is a functional tool that will allow Lando to be very beneficial, to be useful. The problem is he's just not the most useful, and I think that there are just other people that could be better. Now, he does grant speed up, he does grant critical chance and critical damage if he's prepared, and it is a wicked amount. It is 30% critical chance, 30% critical damage, in addition to what he already gets, and then in addition to any bonuses that he might achieve. And that's going to stack quite a bit. Now, moving on to number 4, Qi'ra is right there in the middle in my mind. I have a hard time with Qi'ra, both from the movie, from the books that I've read. Her basic is incredibly useful. It deals offense down and daze, which potentially it deals daze. It doesn't always deal daze. She also dispels, she throws staggers, she calls on other scoundrels to help, which is very useful. I think the numbers, I like the numbers on her unique output, the unique ability, but one of the things that I distrust about Qi'ra, which is kind of one of those things that you should distrust about. I mean, and again, maybe this is something that the devs put in the game. Maybe this is the reason why they put it in the game, is because Qi'ra is a distrustful person, right? She is someone who is not to be trusted. You know, throughout the whole movie, they're like, hey, be careful who you trust. I mean, it's a little more subtle, but not much more subtle. But the thing about Qi'ra is you have to be paying attention to Qi'ra and where her abilities lie. The numbers on her unique are awesome. Qi'ra gains 40% potency if her target isn't debuffed, and then 30% critical damage if it is. Now, the potency is pretty awesome because she grants speed down, she does stagger, she does a lot of really great abilities, she has a lot of really great things, and she is a support character, so that makes sense, but she's one of those characters that putting her in an AI situation is dangerous. Putting her in a situation where you can't control how she attacks and who she attacks is going to be problematic. Now, coupled with that, she is the only scoundrel leader. Now again, I'm using the Scoundrels as these are the new Scoundrels from the solo film. And while her leader ability is okay, while it's pretty good. Scoundrel allies have a plus 20% critical chance. In addition, whenever they score a critical hit, they recover 10% protection. They get 10% stacking up to 3 stacks, so an additional plus 30%, plus 20% critical avoidance, so that's plus 60% critical avoidance for tanks, and then support and healers plus 60 speed. 60 speed's nothing to scoff at. I don't know. I don't know if it's enough. There's a lot of other things out there, and I feel like the characters that we have are different enough that that's not going to take advantage of the abilities that they have. It's really not going to take advantage of the individual abilities that each character has. And that's fine, because I think that there is a team for Qi'ra. There are characters that will take advantage of Qi'ra's leadership ability. I think there's a Scoundrel team out there, a Scoundrel team composition that is effective, that will use Qi'ra's leadership ability to its fullest. I just don't think that it's going to be made up of characters from the solo film, or characters from the solo film that we currently have. Now, moving on, number 3 is Vandor Chewbacca, or as I like to call him, Chewbacca Unchained. Deals physical damage to target enemy. If it's Chewbacca's turn, he also gains advantage for 2 turns. This attack ignores defense. Now, this coupled with the while Chewbacca is buffed, he has a 100% counter chance. That is solid. Now, I think this is the character. If we're gonna start mixing up the Chex Mix team, I really think that this is the character that's going to be useful. This is the character that's going to be needed. He is the one that you're gonna want to buff like crazy, make him super slow, as slow as you possibly can. Right now, his base speed at gear 12 is 131. Not bad. It's about average for characters today. But what I love about this is if any ally took damage from an attack and Chewbacca did not, he recovers protection equal to 10% of his max health, and other Scoundrel allies recover half that amount. Then he can revive a character. And not just revive, he revives them with up to 60% health. That's nuts. So the thing about Chewbacca is you're going to want to always keep him healthy. You're going to want to keep his abilities. You're going to want to keep him at his max health, and it's going to do a lot, I think. It really will. Now, he is a character that I definitely want to spend more time with and spend more time investigating and looking into. I think he is a solid character. Number 2 on the list is young Han Solo. And again, no matter what you thought of the movie, no matter what you thought of this character, there are just a number of things that I love about this tune in this game. Basic deals physical damage to target enemy and inflicts speed down for 2 turns. Han becomes prepared if the target was below 50% turn meter. Now, what's cool about that is the upper hand is going to make him go super fast. That ability can give him up to 200 speed, which just that alone will put him at 325. If you don't have speed mods on him, that's still a ton. Now again, this isn't dependent on him having to attack on his turn, right? Speed down will be inflicted on any time that Han attacks, or has that chance to inflict speed down. But what's cool about that is, again, anytime that Han is attacking, he has a chance to be prepared. If you're attacking a character who has 50% or less than 50% turn meter, that is going to be valuable, because when Han is prepared. Now, what I love about Han is this upper hand in conjunction with the ready for anything, right? Upper hand gives 100% retribution for 2 turns. Upper hand gives protection up 100% for 2 turns and retribution for 2 turns. He also gains up to 200 speed. Again, solid. That's base speed 325, not including all the speed mods that you put on him. But his unique, when Han starts his turn with protection up, he gains 10% offense and 10% critical chance, both stacking until the end of the battle. I honestly think that Han is going to be a very, very valuable character in these long-term battles, in these extended events, right? The events that go on for 8 rounds. He is a character that I've really kicked around buying his pack. I try to avoid bundles, but $9.99 is a really hard thing to pass up. He's not difficult to gear. He's not the easiest to gear by any means, but he's not the worst either. And he's a solid character. I've played around with him. I think he has some viability at 3-star. He has definitely more at 4-star. I can't justify spending the $200 to upgrade him, to spend the crystals. But man, I want to. He is a solid character. But number 1 on this list, and probably will come as no surprise, is Enfys Nest. Enfys Nest, since she's been launched, everyone knows is a solid character. She is just hands down great. Her basic ability deals physical damage to target enemy, exposes them for 1 turn. If they had defensive buffs, they're dispelled. The attack can't be evaded. It's ridiculous, and it's a solid attack. Her speed, her base speed, is 159. That's fast. Sudden impact deals physical damage to target enemy, stuns them for 1 turn, and inflicts buff immunity for 3 turns. If that target had any protection, this attack deals 50% more damage and ignores armor. I think that Enfys Nest is a solid character in the Sith Trimer raid. I think she's going to be a solid character just right off the bat with a few different areas of the game. Specifically, she's probably one of the only characters that is arena viable. I mean, the rest of them are solid. The rest of them have some really strong abilities, some really strong stuff going for them. But really, Enfys Nest is the one that I think will play and work well with others. Now, kinetic charge dazes for 2 turns, removes turn meter from each enemy that had full health, and gets 40% turn meter for each enemy with less than full health. So, you want to keep Enfys Nest alive for as long as you possibly can, but the longer she stays in, just the more she's going to go and the more damage that she's ultimately going to do. I don't think that she's without her weaknesses. I don't think that she's without her kryptonite. She's definitely one that can be taken down. but an 80% counter chance ignoring taunt on her turn, that's just solid. Whenever she's damaged by an attack, she gains 30% critical chance and 40% bonus protection. Now, those bonuses, while they do stack, they will go away, but they're going to hit hard. She's going to hit hard while they are on her, and I think that's just incredible. But what do you guys think? Am I wrong? Am I right? How would you rank these characters based on these abilities? What I feel like these characters are missing, what I feel like these new Scoundrels are missing, is something that binds them together, something that makes them way more effective and super OP. Now, I know a lot of people are like, you don't want to make everything OP, because then nothing's OP. Whatever. I do think they need a stronger leadership ability than Qi'ra's offering. I think they need something else than what we've seen so far. Maybe we'll get a Dryden Voss. Maybe we'll get another character, whoever. But I do think that there's other characters that are potentially coming. I think that there's more potential here. Whether it's because of this release, or it's coming, 2 years down the road when they release, Solo the video game or Solo the novel or whatever. I do think that there's more coming. I just don't know when. With that, though, leave a comment in the section below. Like, subscribe, share. This has been Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and as always, my friends, stay nerdy.